Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. I want to start today with a question. How strong is your foundation? Not the foundation of your home or your career, but the foundation of your life. Because here's the truth. Everything we build, from our relationships to our ambitions, depends on what it is built upon. And the stronger the foundation, the more resilient we become when life storms come our way. Today I want to explore a profound message from the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 7. Jesus teaches us the importance of having a solid foundation, a spiritual one that will carry us through life's challenges, temptations, and uncertainties. In this chapter, Jesus offers practical wisdom on how to build that foundation, how to discern truth from lies, and how to live in a way that not only benefits us, but also uplifts those around us. So let's dive into the powerful lessons of Matthew chapter 7 and see how we can apply them to build a life that is unshakable. The golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. In Matthew 7:12, Jesus sums up a key principle of life in one simple sentence. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. The golden rule is more than just a piece of good advice. It's a roadmap to a life of harmony and peace with others. Think about it. How often do we get caught up in our own frustrations, treating people with impatience or worse, indifference? But Jesus tells us to take a step back and ask, if I were this person and in their shoes, how would I want to be treated? And this requires empathy, putting ourselves in the position of others and understanding their struggles, joys, and fears. It means treating your neighbor, your coworker, and even strangers with the kindness, patience, and respect you would want. Living out the golden rule means that we don't wait for others to treat us well before we act. Instead, we lead with kindness, knowing that love and respect have a way of coming back to us. Imagine the ripple effect if we all practice this in our daily lives. When you forgive quickly, speak gently, and act with generosity, you're not just blessing others, you're building a life on a foundation of love. And love is the strongest foundation we can have. The narrow gate, choosing the path of integrity. Next, in Matthew 7:13-14, Jesus says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." Now, you may ask, what does this mean? Well, life presents us with countless paths, some easy and appealing, others difficult and demanding. The wide gate represents the path that most people take, the one of least resistance. It's the road of compromise, convenience, and following the crowd. This road might seem easier in the short term, but Jesus warns that it ultimately leads to destruction. Whether that's the destruction of our character, our peace, or our purpose. The narrow gate, on the other hand, is the path of integrity and faith. This road requires us to make choices based not on what's popular, but on what's right. This path can feel lonely because fewer people are willing to take it. It might involve making hard decisions, standing up for what you believe, or sacrificing comfort for a higher purpose. But Jesus promises that the narrow path leads to life, real, abundant life. It's the kind of life where you lay your head on the pillow at night and have peace in your heart, knowing that you lived a day with integrity. The narrow road may be difficult, but it's the road worth walking because it brings us closer to God's purpose for our lives. Beware of false prophets. Discernment is key. In Matthew 7:15-20, Jesus warns us, watch out for the false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. This is one of the most critical lessons of our times. We live in an age where there are countless voices, social media influencers, political leaders, self-proclaimed gurus, all telling us how to live, what to believe, and what will make us happy. But not all these voices have our best interest at heart. Some of them, as Jesus said, are like wolves in sheep's clothing. They may look appealing, but their advice leads us away from the truth. How do we recognize false prophets? Well, by their fruit. What does their life produce? Do their actions align with their words? Do they promote love, peace, and integrity? Or do they sow division, fear, and selfishness? It's not enough to listen to someone's words. We need to observe their lives. Do their choices reflect the kind of life we want to build? And Jesus reminds us that discernment is crucial. We can't afford to blindly follow every voice. We must be wise in choosing the voices we allow to influence our lives, because they shape the direction we take. Building on the rock. The importance of a strong foundation. The climax of Jesus' teaching in Matthew chapter 7 is the parable of the wise and foolish builders. He says, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who builds his house on the rock." This is where everything comes together. Jesus illustrates the difference between two builders, one wise and one foolish. The wise builder carefully constructs his house on a solid foundation of rock. When the rains come and the winds beat against the house, it stands firm. The foolish builder, on the other hand, builds his house on sand. It may look fine at first, but when the storms come, the house collapses because its foundation is weak. What are these two foundations? The rock represents living according to Jesus' teachings, building your life on his words of truth, love, and righteousness. The sand represents building on anything else, material success, shallow relationships, or temporary pleasures. In life, storms are inevitable, and whether it's financial struggles, health issues, or emotional turmoil, these storms will test the strength of our foundation. The question is, when the storm comes, will your life stand strong, or will it crumble? The only way to ensure that our lives withstand life's storms is to build on the rock, the teachings of Jesus. It's not enough to hear his words. We must live them. This means putting love, forgiveness, humility, and faith into practice every day. So, as I close on this, I want to leave you with this thought. What kind of foundation are you building your life on? Are you treating others with love and respect as you would want to be treated? Are you choosing the narrow path of integrity, even when it's hard? Are you discerning the voices you allow to influence you? And most importantly, are you building your life on the solid foundation of Jesus' teachings? Remember, storms will come. They are part of life. But if your foundation is built on the rock, you will stand firm, no matter what life throws at you. So today, choose to live by the golden rule. Walk through the narrow gate. Guard your heart against false voices, and above all, build your life on the unshakable foundation of Christ's teachings. And when you do, you'll find that no matter the storm, you will stand firm. Thank you, and God bless you. Next, we will discuss Chapter 8.